But anyway, I digress. He's since passed away. But so anyway, so I had made it a decision to choose Mia. I knew I had my hands full. I knew I had a bobcat, which is, I'm no stranger to the feline, you know. But I knew what type of man I was. I knew the type of man how I can be, or you know, uh, I knew me. So as far as my making a commitment to someone, I know I can keep that commitment. There were other factors of other people texting me or whatever, but then when it came time for me to make my choice, I made my choice, and everything stopped. And in spite of her conditioning, Mia's conditioning, to her past, two foreigners, one foreigner left her and said he's going to send her money and didn't send her, and then put her in a bind, and she had to move, and the places that Mia was living in was I mean, I don't even want to describe it, because you know um, if she did what she had to do and live where she had to live to put a roof over her two boys, and being a mother, and feeding them, you know, she did quite well. Like, is the best way to say it. I don't want to talk about the conditions, because I don't want to. Uh, um, let's just say that you know uh, my rescuing her and her children from that situation was what I did. And the boys kind of gravitated to me, kind of because I would pick them up, and we would go places. I can't remember where we gone or whatever, but I knew they were riding with me at some point in time. And and so we decide to stay and build a relationship together, and that's what we did. Now, I was still going over to see my friend, who was my best man, and see his family and see his kids, because by now I was part of that family nucleus. I would stop by and see him, and things of that nature. Tata had gotten a bike by then, and so she was uh, legal on the road, let's say, and so she was able to get take herself back and forth to work. So, but they moved, and when I would go see them, Mia would come with me. Because I wanted them to meet Mia, and they knew the situation between Tata and I. They knew what was going on between us before we broke off. You know, and whenever I go to his house, I would see her, and she would always, I hug and kiss like I always do everybody like this in the household, and she'd be doing her work. At no time did I ever put any energy or send out any type of mixed vibes to her that we had something still going on the side. That's not me, because like I say, once I make a commitment to someone or something, I make a commitment to them. And my best man is why we would play cards. There's a Filipino game called Tanya, and I can't remember I can't remember the other one, and we would play cards. And Mia would play sometimes, but Mia was often the time, sitting there, talking to his wife, because they would have a conversation, for as long as they did, and then we play cards. So anyway, so Mia got to talking to Tata, and they became, associates. I wouldn't say bosom buddies, but they became associates. It became inevitable that she was going to stay or be in my life, Tata. Why? Because my best man and his family was in my life, and as long as she worked for them, she would be there. So over a course of period of time, I guess the relationship between them kind of warmed up, and they would go off on a scooter together, looking for a house or an apartment for us. So we would look moving or something like this, and they became friends. Now, the reason I'm telling you this story is because some of you talk about, when I talk about, staying in contact with your ex or something like this. Someone even said, "Oh, you shouldn't like this, like this," and this is an example that it is possible. It is possible to have someone in your past still be in your present and still be a part of your present situation, your present relationship. Because you were with someone does not mean that they no longer exist, that you don't need to talk to them. You need to run from them. No, no. In time, you know, uh, you know, when they see it's inevitable that they're not going nowhere, or I'm not, you know, stopping my groove, because of feelings, because feelings you can get over, you know, getting over someone who you love, and I mean that loving someone, anyone, is a lot harder to. Or why should you? I still love everybody who I love in my life. Oh my God, I still love them. You know, because they meant something special to me. You know, you know and because I'm a loving and giving guy, you, you know you know I don't say hateful things to people. Hey, I'm not the sometimes me and I, we get into an argument or something. It's not so much an argument, it's just that, can't you see can't you see? Can't you see that you're not seeing this correctly? It's like, I mean, you might look at my wallet and see I have nothing in there because I won't keep nothing in there, and then you make it up in your mind, oh, you don't have any money. What do you mean we don't have any money? Of course we have money. Of course we have. You know, you've never wanted for anything. Whatever you need, I provided for you. Whenever we have to get something, we get. I said, because you don't see it physically in there, doesn't mean that I don't have it. I may have money in my safe. I have money in the bank, and I have my daytime night move if I need to make, but we are never without, you know. And now stuff may come up, like this, and it's like, you know, don't tell me the morning that you need, because now I got to go all the way to the bank. Now all the way come back. I said, you do this all the time. If you know you're gonna have an expense coming up, tell me. You know, it's it's like, my mother used to get upset at the same thing. It's because, when she was getting all dialed up and ready and go to work and about heading out the door, and then say, "Mommy, can we have some money?" Why you wait till now to tell me? and, and and this is what happens a lot. And so I have to, she's already on a mindset. We have no money. I said, we have money. We're never going to be without. We have. Just tell me what you need. You know. Okay, now you may not have any money. You had your allowance. Whenever you need something, I give it to you. That's fine. But we're never without. So anyway, so the other day, one weekend we went to forest camp together with the family, and Tata came, and it was fun. Her and I don't talk on any deep kind of level of conversation or anything like that, because that would be inappropriate. You know, uh, uh, I know that even when I go to my friend's house and she's there, and me is not with me, you know, I don't say, "Come here, I'm going to talk to you," and talk to her like that, because now it becomes a matter of my giving someone ammunition or secret over Mia. And that's something I would never do. I will not give any of you right now watching this any type of ammunition to think you have it over on my wife. I would not do that. I would not give you that power. I would not, give you that ammunition to say, oh yeah, when he's not around, he's grabbing my ass, he's chasing me around, he's trying to, no, I won't do that. You know, what I do and say, to her, I can do and say in front of Mia. So I'm not giving. So when I'm at their house, we're sitting down and she's working. She's doing what she has to do in the house. There's never a moment, when Mia's not there and I'm in the house where her and I are alone talking for any length of time other than hello, how you kids, hey, like that, you know. And so I conduct myself that way. You see, and you know, so the other day we had the son come over, and you know, someone was picking him up or dropping him off clothes because we went to forest camp and he spent the night with us. And I'm upstairs, and Mia says, "Gerard, Tata's here." I said, "Tata?" I said, "Okay." Well, I'm thinking Tata will play cards, and then he says, "Oh no, Tata, she's bringing Jack clothes." And right then I knew it was Tata, one that I've been talking about. And so, I come downstairs. I tense the awkwardness in her. I tense, a little awkwardness in me, because this is the first time she's at our house. And so, of course, I give her a hug, and we go in the kitchen and we sit down. And so I said, "Sit down." I said, "You want a cup of coffee or something?" And Mia substantiate, "You want something?" And she said, "Yeah." So anyway, she's still sitting there with a bag, with a bag like this, because I guess she didn't really know what to expect. She didn't know what. Okay, you dropped it off, now get the fuck out. Get the flock out. So she didn't know what to expect. So I'm sitting there, and Mia's making something like this, and now they're talking Bisaya. Blah, 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 blah. So I said, "Okay, now's a good time for me to go upstairs." And I tell them this. "Okay, you guys are talking all that yang yang stuff." Going upstairs. I don't need to hear this. And I went upstairs and I continued doing what it was I was doing. And they were downstairs for the longest time, chit chatting, chit chatting, chit chatting, chit chatting, chit chatting. I'm upstairs just smiling. I say, "Yeah, yeah, this is what life is about." So I'm happy to to have Mia, of course, my number one, my one and only, and Tata, you know, who was who 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 was there, you know, while I was in my quest for finding my number one. So I'm happy to have them both to be on civil terms and where they both can be friends, chat, and hopefully make plans to hang out again. So I wanted to share that story, and I think I did it quite well. I don't know how much time I have. I think I may have gone over, but I'm very blessed. I'm very blessed, you know, to have someone, you know, who can accept me for who I am and accept my past as was just that, my past, and not hold it against me or hold it against them, you know, because in my way of thinking, you know, just like Sherry Ellen in New York text me after so many years and say, "I'm just thinking about you." She says, "You're very special." And she just wanted to know how I was doing. And that's how I like to think who I am. That I am very special.